Hello there everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of Kipper the Dog Home Media Reviews. We're finally out of the VHS tape only era of the show and moving into a more civilized age of VHS and DVD releases simultaneously. This episode is on Pools, Parks, and Picnics, the second release of Kipper I received as a child. I got this for one of my birthdays, I'm pretty sure. I got this with another release. Actually, the one we'll be talking about next week. But that's next week's problem. This week, though, we're talking Pools, Parks, and Picnics. Let's jump right into the history section. So Pools, Parks, and Picnics is a first for this show. First of all, there is no more Pools, Parks, and Picnics and Stories. It's just Pools, Parks, and Picnics, because there's not a story called Pools, Parks, and Picnics. And we have multiple confirmed release dates. Hooray! So Pools, Parks, and Picnics hit VHS on June 5th, 2001, specifically from Lyric Studios. That name is significant because Lyric Studios handled the distribution for a lot of the early Kipper releases after FHE lost the rights, I assume. They also handled releases of Bob the Builder, Barney the Dinosaur, and VeggieTales over here in the United States. Actually, the lawsuit that the company that created VeggieTales got into with Lyric Studios was part of the reason that that company fell. If you want more details on that, go and read Phil Vischer, co-creator of VeggieTales' book, Me, Myself, and Bob. It's a really good read. And this was the version that I owned as a child. I remember seeing that Lyric Studios logo at the start of this release. I don't know why, but the hand and the finger coming out and tapping the screen kind of creeped me out. I don't know, I was scared of weird stuff when I was a kid. I didn't like people in masks, and I didn't like weird CGI hands just coming out of nowhere and tapping the screen. July 1st, 2003 brings us a reprint of Pools, Parks, and Picnics on VHS, and its debut on DVD. Now in 2003, Kipper was fully under the Hit Entertainment brand of shows, so naturally, Hit re-released the VHS and made the jump over to DVD. Kind of a positive and negative here because this DVD is incredibly simplistic, but we'll talk about that later. I was going to wait until next week to talk about this next release as it features Pools, Parks, and Picnics and Tiger Tales, which is the release we're covering next week. But I decided, screw it, I'm going to mention it here too. This is the only Kipper release that I do not own. Well, aside from some of the sampler and screener VHS tapes that are floating around out there, this is the only mainline Kipper release that I don't have. I say mainline in quotations there because it's a compilation tape. If you're familiar with Blockbuster and their Kid Mungus line of VHS tapes, you know what this next one is. Think of Thomas and Friends, Thomas's Magical Musical Ride, or Thomas's Useful Stories. Playtime in the Park is pretty much exactly that, but for Kipper. It was a Blockbuster exclusive VHS tape, which featured a compilation of both Pools, Parks, and Picnics and Tiger Tales, all on one tape. I've never seen it pop up on an auction over on eBay or Mercari or any platform like that. I've never seen it in person. I didn't even know that this thing existed prior to doing research for this show. It is the bane of my existence because I just want to have it. I just want to have it at some point. I want to own it. But I can't because it's so astronomically rare, and if I actually did find it, somebody would probably price gouge me for it. However, this one release leaves this show open to supplementals. If I ever find this release, I'm committing to this right now. If I ever find it anywhere and buy it, I will do one supplemental for Kipper the Dog home media reviews. I do not plan on picking up any of the other VHS tapes of any of these releases. From now on, it's only DVD for me. But if I find this one, the White Whale of the Kipper the Dog home video collection, I will do a supplemental on it. That is my promise to you. Other than that, though, that wraps up your history section. Let's move right along to the close-up. Alrighty, everyone. Here's your close-up look at Kipper, Pools, Parks, and Picnics. Now, I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned this, but this was one of the first Kipper releases I ever owned myself as a kid. This, and I believe Tiger Tales, I got at the same time. This, and, spoiler alert, Tiger Tales next week are what made me fall in love with the Kipper series. I didn't own this DVD. All of my stuff was on VHS. A few years ago, though, I went on eBay and started buying up Kipper releases because I wanted to do this mini-series at some point, and I loved Kipper as a kid. I wanted to watch it again. It really wasn't streaming anywhere except for low-quality re-uploads on YouTube. So let's jump into it here. We got the DVD logo up there at the top, Kipper logo. There's Kipper himself, Pools, Parks, and Picnics. 60 minutes of fun from the books by Mike Inkpen. This poster's okay. It's very nostalgic for me, but there's not really much going on here. It's just kind of a blue background. There's Kipper. He's pointing at Pools, Parks, and Picnics. Now, he is doing a 3 motion with his paws there, I guess because Pools, Parks, and Picnics. 3 words in the title, but yeah, it's an okay poster. It's not great. They'll get better, though, I promise. There's a portrait of Kipper. There's the title again, Kipper. Pools, Parks, and Picnics. The hit logo, DVD logo, and the product number. The back features your barcode. Pools, Parks, and Picnics again. Meet Kipper, a lovable dog who has a big imagination, and he wants to be your child's best friend. Today's the day to join Kipper, Tiger, Jake, Pig, and Arnold in their wondrous world of magic and fun. And there's a portrait, and there's a picture of Kipper on the back lounging in his pool with not a martini glass, but kind of close to it there. We have a blurb about the release. Your episodes are listed down there. And then we have a little breakdown of each of the characters. There's Tiger, there's Pig and Arnold, and there's Jake. It's a small cast of characters, but they're all very memorable, especially Arnold. I love that little guy. And then we have, for news, fun, and games, visit KipperOnline.com. A link to the Kipper website. How about that? We have some legalese down there at the bottom. Your disc is very, very basic. It's just a reflective gray color there with your title up there at the top, the DVD logo, the hit logo, and the Kipper logo. This didn't come with any inserts when I bought it used, so I don't know if it did originally come with anything, but hey, it's complete and it's in pretty good shape, so I'm not really complaining. So that wraps up your close-up. Let's move right along to the menu tour. Okay, everyone, here's what's supposed to be your menu tour for Pools, Parks, and Picnics, but there's no menu here. I pop the disc in, and it immediately goes into a FBI warning and all that, and I think, okay, I guess it's one of those discs that autoplay, for kids and stuff, but if I go here and select top menu, nothing. Gives me that red little X thing up there. Well, you can't really see it from how this camera angle is set up, but it won't let me go to the menu because I guess there is no menu, which, upon further inspection, there isn't any bonus content that's on this disc, so I guess it makes sense there'd be no menu. It's just kind of odd to be like, hey, here's the VHS, but it's on a DVD and in higher quality. We're not even going to give you a menu. Here you go. Here's Pools, Parks, and Picnics. Like, I mean, yeah, it's Pools, Parks, and Picnics, all right. Like, if we hit play here, it starts off, there's Kipper. He's waking up. And if we skip ahead, there's this swimming pool. the picnic, cakes and tails, the gizmo, the lost mug, and the magnifying glass. And if we fast forward to the end, I wonder what it'll do. Let's just see what it does. I'm going to try not to get copyright claimed here. Oh, that first episode was The Long Walk. It just didn't have the title card there because it had the intro and everything. Oh, it literally just kicks me back to my Xbox's main menu. Okay, this is just a VHS tape, but on a DVD disc. That's... okay, that's really interesting. See, look, if I go back to it here, if I select Blu-ray player, there's our FBI warning here. Believe this is like a trailer for Barney or something. If we skip ahead, we are right back at the beginning with Pools, Parks, and Picnics. So, lackluster menu tour because there is no menu to talk about. But that wraps it up here, folks. That wraps up our menu tour in quotation marks. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. Alright, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? DVD copies of this are pretty prevalent over on eBay, so if you can find one there for cheap, definitely grab it. The 2003 VHS tape and DVD are very common over on eBay. I don't know about the 2001 Lyric one, though. There's subtle differences between those boxes, but for the most part, if you don't see a hit logo on that box, it's from 2001. But yeah, eBay is probably your best bet for that. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? Boy, I wish. No, it's not. Number 3, should you pick this product up? This DVD is basically a higher quality VHS tape. Since it has literally no menu whatsoever, you saw my reaction during the menu tour. The fact that there was no menu tour should definitely tell you something about this DVD. This was in that weird early era of kids' DVDs where some of them had menus, some of them didn't. There really wasn't an industry standard for it. I don't know if you can hear that, but that is a tornado siren going off right now, and I'm recording Kipper the Dog home media reviews in my closet. Yay me. I didn't know this prior to watching Pools, Parks, and Picnics for this review, but this DVD is definitely different than that 2001 VHS tape, because that VHS tape I remember very well the opening sequence of. I got kind of hit in the face whenever I started watching this on DVD, because there's a different trailer here at the beginning. There's a trailer for a Barney special that I did not recognize at all. However, there's a trailer for the Knights of Fix-A-Lot on here, which I did remember from childhood. I don't remember if this trailer was on the Pools, Parks, and Picnics VHS tape that I owned, but I remember seeing it on other Kipper releases. Oh, you think I remember the Knights of Fix-A-Lot special well? No. I remember the trailer well, not the actual special, because my VHS tape wore out extraordinarily quickly with Knights of Fix-A-Lot. It was unwatchable after I watched it maybe 2 or 3 times. I also remembered the trailer for Kipper Imagine That, another release I didn't get to watch as much as a kid because my VCR ate my VHS copy of Imagine That. Now we jump into the meat and potatoes here of Pools, Parks, and Picnics with The Long Walk. Another instance of Tiger being overly prepared for any situation. That coat, though, was pretty pimpin'. He had a pocket for every single thing he could possibly need. It is my personal goal in life to own a coat like that. The backgrounds have been vastly improved. I mean, way more colors used, more greenery, more set dressing. The backgrounds in Kipper now look really good. It's not just a white void. Now it's like, hey, we're outside. Hey, we're in a house. We're in a building. Like, we can actually tell what's going on outside. Love that Kipper laughs at Tiger's expense when he gets stuck on that fence. That was funny. That map was comically huge, and of course it's funny to see the 2 friends struggle trying to read it. Tiger, I think the map's upside down. So it is. I doubt I could read a map. My phone tells me where I need to go. R.I.P. Tiger's coat. It was so sad watching it go, but it was sacrificed for a greater good. To protect Tiger from that bull. The bull didn't even appreciate the fact that the coat had so many pockets. It just said, look, red, because it's a bull. It's stupid. No map, no compass, no whistle, and my feet hurt, and it's going to rain. What an absolute mood. I think it's funny, though, how Tiger's misfortune is what saves them in the end, because he gets stuck up on that windmill. It's like, look, Kipper, I can see your house. It's over that hill. Little odd, though, that they're taking a bath together. Did anyone else feel that way? I know it's a cartoon with talking animals, but, like, taking a bath with the homies never really seemed like a great idea to me. It just never really crossed my mind. Really fun episode and a solid opening to Pools, Parks, and Picnics. The swimming pool. Pig's got himself a pimpin' little hat on there, looking like a straight dad. Why am I using such hip lingo in this episode? Yeah, I can get down with the kids, yo. Arnold's hat also ain't half bad either. I always loved how Pig said, water wings. Not sure why, but it's fun to say in that accent. He can't swim yet. We brought his water wings. This episode always makes me want to go to a pool, and preferably one that has a really cool waterfall that comes out of a frog's mouth, like the one in this episode. Arnold just went weightless when that jet shot him up, though. I laughed so hard at that. He wasn't phased. He was like, I'm just going to let the jet take me. Whee! And then he falls over like a hunk of meat after it's done. It was so funny. I don't know why. I had never heard of a wave pool prior to seeing this episode as a kid, but I've been to a few since then, and they are this fun. I related to Tiger a lot when I was a kid with this episode, because I learned how to swim maybe a little too late. I was terrified of the water. I don't know why I didn't want to learn how to swim. I was terrified of it for some odd reason. Like I said, I was afraid of some pretty weird stuff when I was a kid. A lot of it was irrational. I was stuck to water wings or floaties throughout most of my childhood because I was too much of a bitch to learn how to swim. I was always embarrassed by it and never wanted to admit that I didn't know how to swim around my friends. So Tiger, I feel your pain, man. But I also felt satisfied watching you have fun. Good episode. Enjoyed it a lot. The picnic. Okay, so now we've got the pool, we've got the picnic, we just got to get to the park. This is the second part, though, the picnic. Kipper's using quite a generous amount of butter on that bread for the sandwiches. I mean, he's covering, like, all of it, man. I don't agree with him on the onions, though. Onions can be good on a sandwich if they're used in moderation. Too much onion, though, can overpower your sandwich. Pig and Arnold barging their way into the picnic was very funny, and I love how Arnold just shows no remorse stepping on those chips. Just walks right through like, do I'm Arnold, I'm the best character in the show, goodbye. Pig at least said he was sorry. Like, Arnold's just like, nah, screw you guys. Those ants must have been fire ants, because regular ones do not bite like that, but it was funny to watch them freak out. After being attacked by bugs and losing yet another pair of sandwiches, they lost a couple at the beginning and now we're in the middle of the episode, so they've lost another pair. Pig and Arnold return to take their last few bites of food. Seems to be their style, though. Pig definitely got what he deserved with that soda exploding in his face. Arnold's lost his kite. Do you remember where it was, Arnold? It's in the old apple tree. I laughed way too hard at all the apples falling on everybody's heads, just the, ooh, ow, ooh, ow, ow. The crunch those apples made, though, made them sound pretty high quality. Another solid episode here on Pools, Parks, and Picnics. Cake and Tails. I think your toys are boring. Damn, Tiger comes out swinging at the beginning of this episode. I think Tiger would be a fan of action figures with all of the articulated joints and everything. Not soft at all, not like Big Owl or Sock Thing. I think he would enjoy action figures. What I'm saying is Tiger and I would be best friends. 3 bars of chocolate and 1 cake. Pig, you absolute bastard. Chocolate is my weakness, and that cake sounded absolutely delicious. I'm offended that you didn't invite me. I love the variety of locations in these episodes. Not one episode takes place in one single location. They're always moving from either like a bench, a pond, a field, somebody's house. Like, they're always on the move. And there's a ton of new animals that appear as well. There's ducks, a bull, there's bugs. No expense was spared. Kipper had a great idea in waiting for Pig to turn up, because just wandering around the park you probably wouldn't be able to catch up with him. Oh! This is the park episode! I just realized that. 2 problems, though, with Kipper's idea. Pig had already been in that area where they were going to wait, although they didn't know that, but it is a problem, nonetheless. And Kipper immediately goes back on his idea 30 seconds later. Like, dude, you said let's sit and wait for Pig, and then immediately afterward you're like, maybe we should look for Pig again. You gave him like 15 seconds. You ate the cake? The one with 3 big bars of chocolate in it? I'm as devastated as you, Tiger. Another $5 word, though. Petrified. Didn't know that word before seeing this episode either. These episodes just keep getting better, man. I'm really enjoying Pools, Parks, and Picnics here, if you can't tell. If this was last week, we'd be done, because the last 3 releases have only had 4 stories on them. But no, we're up to like 7 or 8 per release now, so more Kipper for everyone. Yippee. The Gizmo. Another relatable moment from Kipper at the beginning when he's asking, "What shall I do today?" I miss that feeling of having no idea what the day will bring, and I associate that feeling with being a child. As a child, you never truly know how your day is gonna go, because you don't plan out your days. Your parents do that for you. As an adult, at least for me, my days don't have a lot of variety. A lot of them are pretty similar in the events that happen. I wake up, I go to work, I come home from work, I have dinner, I go over to Hope's house and hang out for a while. Gotta compliment the background work again. You can actually see Kipper's outside wall and a group of trees. They've stepped things up here. Tiger's captain hat was pretty adorable, but I don't think smacking the water with a stick would have done anything helpful. I get the idea though, but that stick was way too short to get that boat out of the group of lily pads. Of course, Tiger is the one who ends up in the water. Obviously, I would be the one to end up in the water too, so like I said, Tiger and I, we would be best friends. Very simple episode. Not exactly my favorite one, but it's good. The Lost Mug. You are a nuisance, Arnold. It's a horrible day to have to go out. Pig comes out swinging just like Tiger. Ugh, poor Arnold. Guess who's got to find the stupid thing? You know, I said me and Tiger would be best friends. Me and Pig would be pretty good friends too. He's got an insane amount of sass that I did not remember from when I was a kid. The wood sets here look really good. By Kipper standards, of course, but the backgrounds look extraordinary. Arnold gets up to his old hijinks and wanders off into the woods, meeting up with a squirrel, as they pronounce it here, and finding his lost mug. I love how we resolve the conflict of this episode halfway through, leaving just comedy throughout the rest. I can't get enough of Arnold's hijinks. That kid could overthrow the government if he really wanted to. And Pig's reactions to nature and basically his entire situation is really the glue that holds this episode together. It's probably the best thing about this episode, if I'm going to be honest. Arnold dropping the mug at the end is the icing on the cake. This episode might be in like my top 3 here on this release. I don't think it's better than The Long Walk. Long Walk's definitely my favorite. But this one here is probably like a close second or third. And finally, our last episode, The Magnifying Glass. Kipper manages to make searching for bugs actually interesting. Usually I hate bugs, but since these are cartoon bugs, I don't care. We already know that aliens exist in this universe, but if we didn't, Kipper making crop circles would make me suspect such things. Of course, Arnold finds Kipper's lost magnifying glass, and I think Pig said it best. He's always getting himself lost. Simplicity once again reigns supreme in this episode, and it's a nice way to end off Pools, Parks, and Picnics. So Pools, Parks, and Picnics it improves on the original 3 releases with improvements to the backgrounds and the overall storytelling. Not only do you get more bang for your buck here with the increased episode count, you also get more quality stories on top of that. It's a very nostalgic release for me, and it may be one of my favorites. High recommend for Pools, Parks, and Picnics. A truly great release here for Kipper. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? You can find it on eBay, so pretty much the same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? Like I said, the VHS and also the DVD are pretty common over on eBay. The VHS more so than the latter. I'd say probably around $5 for a VHS copy and maybe $10 on the high end for a DVD copy. Alright, that wraps up your home media review for Pools, Parks, and Picnics. I really enjoyed this one, guys. Brought me right back to when I was a kid watching this. And I'm having a blast with this series, guys. I really hope that you guys are enjoying it too. The view counts are definitely showing me that you guys are liking this, so I hope that you all will stick with me to the end when we eventually reach the end. But the end is not next week, because we have something else to cover. I mentioned it earlier in this release, but in case you forgot. So if you're up for taking a chance on a YouTube video, I can't see a better time than this. So baby, why not Tiger Tales? I went from Alan Jackson to Reba McEntire. Maybe this will just be the thing for the rest of this show. I don't know. It's probably super embarrassing, but I haven't heard a comment saying that anybody hates it, so yeah. Tiger Tales next week on Kipper the Dog Home Media Reviews. If you like and subscribe, I promise I'll never sing another Reba McEntire song ever again. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Good night, everybody.